Hello everyone, and let's talk about Microsoft's unified, what is it called? No, it's not unified. They're planning to unify PC, Xbox One gaming platforms into the same ecosystem. Now, the term that they've used for this is Universal Windows Applications, UWAs for short, is what they're going to do. So basically, this is coming ahead of the news that we have got, of course, Quantum Break is coming to PC and Xbox One. It's gonna be one of the first games that utilizes. In fact, Gears of War is, I think, the first game that's out. It's out just now on the Windows Store. I don't know. I don't have internet at the moment. I don't have any meaningful internet, nor Windows 10 to check that out. But it is coming out soon, at least. Gears of War. Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which was the HD remake of Gears of War, which landed on the Xbox One back in November, is coming to PC. It's the HD remake. Apparently doesn't run well on AMD cards. That's quite a concern because DirectX 12 was meant to be, the stomping ground for AMD cards, and it doesn't run that well on AMD Fury cards in particular. I saw an article that was quite interesting. That not running well. DirectX 12, Jesus. DirectX 12 is supposed to be a lot easier to run. Obviously, it's new technology, so there may be a few teething problems. So we'll judge it when we get more sort of conclusive games. Hopefully, it's not a pattern. Really, we'll get sort of more games coming out. But Forza 6 is getting a sort of free-to-play, a quasi-free-to-play version on Windows 10 as well as Quantum Break, obviously, and Fable Legends as well is another one. We might get Gears of War 4, who knows? Depends, I guess, how well Gears of War Ultimate Edition sells. If it sells well on PC, then we might get Gears of War 4, but certainly they're looking to bring a lot of their exclusives. We might get Halo 5 as well. That hasn't been confirmed, although Halo 5 is a piece of shit. To be honest, it's just microtransactions have ruined it. It's got a terrible campaign, no split-screen co-op, and microtransactions, so awesome. But this is the move that, I mean, I was reading, there's an article on The Guardian's website, the Guardian newspaper, website, which the headline is Microsoft to unify PC and Xbox One platforming, ending fixed console hardware. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's a bit kind of sensationalist. I don't think they're going to ditch the Xbox One anytime soon. There's far too many units sold for the Xbox One, but this is an interesting change of strategy from Microsoft. It does mark a change of strategy. I think they've kind of realized that they're never going to catch the PS4. They're never going to outsell the PS4 this gen. The PS4 has effectively won this generation, you would say. I don't think they're going to get close to the PlayStation 4 sales unless Sony do something really stupid. At this stage, the PS4 is consistently outselling it, and again, Xbox fanboys, this is a fact. Don't think I'm a Sony fanboy. I think both consoles are pretty shit, to be honest with you, but these are facts. I mean, we've seen the game sales again. We did that in our Ubisoft video. We talked about Assassin's Creed. Again, the lead platform for Ubisoft games was the PlayStation 4. I saw the sales data on Call of Duty Black Ops 3, where it was the biggest selling game of 2015. And, the majority of sales were on PlayStation 4. So again, we've seen the same with Star Wars Battlefront as well. So it's quite conclusive that the PS4 is outdoing the Xbox One. I think it's fairly conclusive to say that. I've seen enough sales data to pretty much back that up. To back that up there. In terms of game sales as well. In terms of in third-party terms, Ubisoft are quite a good example. Ubisoft, EA, Activision, they all make third-party games. They kind of just make not third-party, multi-platform games, should we say? And those companies, they do make a lot of them. So and they also make the type of games that appeal to both Xbox and PS4 fans as well. So those sales numbers are fairly good indication of where they are. Now, on the PC, so they're kind of turning their attention to the PC, it seems, for 2016, because a lot of their Xbox exclusives coming to PC. You know, coming to PC. Quantum Break is going to be... Quantum Break is a good test for this. They're available only on the Windows 10 store. They're DirectX 12, and you require Windows 10 in order to run them. I don't think Gears of War runs in it. The new one anyway, the definitive edition, runs on anything other than DirectX 12, even though the original game was a DirectX 9 game. I think it was DirectX... Yeah, it was DirectX 9. DirectX 9 or DirectX 10, I can't remember. The Xbox 360 one was definitely DirectX 9. I can't remember whether Gears of War 1, because of course it did release on PC. I think it was DirectX 10, I think it was on Windows Vista, I don't remember that far back. It came out in like 2007 or something like that on PC. It came out in 2006 on the Xbox 360 initially, but, you know, we're gonna... You know, so I think it was DirectX 9 or 10, but I don't think this version is DirectX 12 only. It is only available in the Windows Store, in the Windows 10 store. So the downside to this ecosystem is, of course, that we don't want it to be a closed ecosystem. If it's just an App Store type, you know, iOS type closed system, then I think it's going to fail on PC, because on PC... on consoles, at least, you're used to closed systems. You know, you get Xbox Live is the only service that's available on your Xbox if you want to play online multiplayer, whereas PlayStation Network is the only service available on the PlayStation 4 if you want to do that. Whereas on the PC, we're used to various different platforms. If we want to buy a game, if we want to buy, let's take, I don't know, The Witcher 3, for example, okay? CD Projekt Red, developed by, yeah, they develop it as well. They develop it, it's like published, isn't it? I don't know who publishes it. It used to be Atari did the original Witcher, and then I think it was Namco Bandai or something did The Witcher 2, and I think they do self-publish, but the point is that CD Projekt Red, now they own a platform on PC, it's GOG, Good Old Games, which is a DRM-free digital distribution platform that sells good old games, really, and games that are DRM free. Now, they could have put The Witcher 3 as GOG exclusive. They could have done that. They certainly could have done that. But what they did do is they released it on multiple platforms on the PC. It was available on Steam, which is the #1 PC platform. And if Microsoft think that they're not going to catch Sony in the console side, they're way behind Steam on the PC, okay? Valve are, you know, Valve or sort of the majority of gaming PCs at least have Steam, because there's a lot of games on Steam. There's so many, there's like, what, a couple of tens of thousands of games or something like that on Steam. And it is the #1 digital distribution platform by quite a distance. Yeah, quite a distance. They're also competing with EA, with Origin. Again, The Witcher 3 released on Origin as well. And it was also available to buy on other websites like Green Man Gaming, Gamersgate, and not Gamergate, that was a movement thing. But there's a website called Gamersgate, and there was a movement called Gamergate. Just don't get those two confused, really. And Humble as well. Humble is another website that does games. So you've got those avenues, and what that does is it creates competition. And that's not to mention things like the CD key resellers like CD Keys, GOG, or Instant Gaming. Of course, that was available on all of those platforms as well. Some of them were released physically, although most weren't. I think Witcher 3 had a physical release. Pretty sure that had a physical release as well, but I think it was the Steam version you got on the physical release. I'm not sure actually what version it was. I never bought the physical one. I bought mine on GOG. But we're using Witcher 3 as an example because it is an example of, you know, a platform holder that put their game on multiple platforms, and The Witcher 3 sold reasonably well on those platforms on the PC. But this is what Microsoft are having to compete with. They're having to putting out Gears of War, which is not available on Steam, not available on Origin, not available on GOG. It's only available in the Windows 10 store. Now, the Windows Store applications have a lot of restrictions. Things like forced VSync, they do not have SLI support currently, although Phil Spencer did mention the forced VSync issue and the SLI support. They also do not support overlays, so you can't run recording software. That does affect people like me who like to stream and like to record gameplay. You know, things like MSI Afterburner can be used to record, has the overlays, XSplit Gamecaster as well, Fraps, DxTory. A lot of those pieces of software use... the only thing we can do is use a window capture thing like XSplit Broadcaster or... what's it called again? OBS as well, but they tend to be quite CPU intensive, so they'll kind of degrade the game's performance as a result of that. So we don't really want to use them and just capture the window. But it is a detriment. It also runs, it doesn't run full screen, it only runs, I think it's borderless window is what they run currently. So, you know, these kind of restrictions are things that they have to get over. We can't have these restrictions. The whole point, or the whole appeal of PC gaming is that you have the choice. You know, it's choice. You know, do we want to run with VSync off? Do we want to run, you know, full screen window, borderless window? You know, do you want SLI? You can have 1 graphics card, 2 graphics card, 4 graphics cards, knock yourself out on the PC. We have that choice. We also have the choice of which controllers we want to use. You know, PC, we can use a broad range of controllers, mouse and keyboard as well. I think the Windows 10 store supports mouse and keyboard, but the only controller support they have is Xbox X input, basically, which is Xbox 360 or Xbox One. Now, if we're clever, which, you know, we are on PC, we can, of course, use other things. Like you can use DS4 Windows, which converts your DualShock 4 into X input and things like that. But again, we don't know if these will be restricted. The detection of this will be restricted on Windows 10. I haven't tried Windows 10, but I am curious. I'm kind of curious to try Quantum Break. I don't really like it as a game. I mean, I wasn't really that interested in it. I didn't really hate it or anything like that, but it's just a game I wasn't really interested in until it's coming to PC and it's DirectX 12. So now I'm interested. Now I really want to see that. So I might buy the digital version. It's quite a good deal actually on the Xbox store. If you pre-order Quantum Break, what you do is you get Quantum Break on Xbox One, Quantum Break on PC, you get Alan Wake on Xbox 360, which is backwards compatible, of course, or Xbox One, which is the Xbox 360 game, which is being added to backwards compatibility, we should say, and you get Alan Wake's American Nightmare. So there's 4 games for the price. That's quite good. £45 it is. That's it's not a bad deal actually. You're getting the PC version, the superior version, the Xbox One version, and 2 Xbox 360 games, which you can play on your Xbox One. So it's not bad. If you've never tried Alan Wake, recommend Alan Wake. It's a pretty interesting game, Alan Wake. So if you're interested in that, then, you know, I'd go for that. I think it did use Games for Windows Live. That's the other point, really, is we remember the last attempt at PC gaming. Games for Windows Live, nobody liked it. That was an attempt to sort of converge PC, Windows, and Xbox Live together. Because you logged in with your Xbox account, you got like Xbox achievements and things like that. You could access your friends list for Xbox Live on Games for Windows Live, and that failed spectacularly, as you recall. But you know, that will they make the same mistakes? That's the question. You know, will they have learned the lesson of Games for Windows Live? Because he said that Phil Spencer did say that he every time he tweets that they're doing something for PC gaming, all he gets in response is Games for Windows Live, and he's got to understand that we were burned before. You know, we took the bait before and we got burned. You know. You know, shame on, you know, shame on you if you fool me once, shame on us if you fool us twice. Really, that's what we're kind of thinking. That is our thinking, and our hesitation to support this is, will it just be another closed loop environment? Now, who benefits from this? Really, we've got to look at the game developers. It's pretty easy for them because surely it'll be easier to port PC to Xbox One and Xbox One to PC, because the whole idea of this unified application, the unified Windows, or the Universal Windows application, I'm calling it unified, yeah, UWA we'll call it. the whole idea of this is, again, just to make it easier to go from one platform to the other. And in effect, take the platform out of the loop. Okay? So that is essentially what they're trying to do. I guess they will extend this, and you may see the next Xbox console as not a console at all. It might just be like a box, like something like an Nvidia Shield. That might be the next Xbox. It's just an Nvidia Shield. It's just a box that sits, plugs into your TV, plugs into your network, and it'll either link to your gaming PC or it'll link to the cloud. If you don't have a gaming PC, you could stream your games from the cloud. Maybe it'll just be a full streaming. I don't see them abandoning Xbox One right now. I think Xbox One probably run to about 2020 or something like that. I don't think the Xbox One is in any immediate danger, but I see the next one as just being something like that. Just a box. Might not even be a box, might just be an app on your smart TV. Might even be that. Obviously you need a controller. But we've already seen a move towards streaming as being as being the future. Certainly. Steam, you've got the Steam home streaming service, which involves you streaming games from your PC to you buy a Steam streaming box, and you can stream games from your PC to your TV. PlayStation, Sony also have this with PlayStation Now as well. You can stream PlayStation 3 games. So there is a sort of move towards that, and this unified, Windows application is a step in that direction, because the platform is going to be irrelevant. The console platform could be the end, but I don't think it will be. I think the Xbox One is just, there's too many units out there for them to shift that right now. And, people like their traditional game discs, but there is potentially a shift, which is quite interesting to see. That, people say the PlayStation 5 might never be released. The PlayStation 5 might already be out. It might be PlayStation TV, although they've just discontinued it in Japan. That might be PlayStation 5 that you're seeing, or at least the early concept of PlayStation 5. PlayStation Now could be the future. Certainly they'll put PS4 games on PlayStation Now sooner rather than later, I'd imagine. Probably next year or something like that. Probably won't put the most recent releases, but they'll probably put the launch games like Knack and Killzone Shadowfall. Games like that onto the PlayStation Now platform. I keep getting next so many platform names that I forget. So it is a move towards platform independence, and you could argue, is it good for choice? Is it bad for choice? Time will tell. Time will tell. But I'm intrigued. I'm quite interested in this. I'm looking at, I think I might upgrade to Windows 10. When my internet goes back on, I can get this video uploaded. I might take a look at upgrading to Windows 10. I'm still running Windows 7. Of course, we can't access any of this on Windows 7 or Windows 8. So, still got time to take advantage of my free upgrade. I might upgrade in time for Quantum Break, because I'm quite interested in it now. If it doesn't run well on PC, at least I got the Xbox One version to back me up. But that might be the future. You might just buy the game license and pick whatever platform you want. You might even be able to play it on your, on your tablet. In the future, you've got your Xbox app and, stream your Xbox 360 to your tablet. We've already seen remote play with the PS Vita. So, that might be another thing that they do, is put it on tablets. Just have it as an app, and you can just stream to your tablet, to your PC, to whatever, the hardware is going to be interesting to see where the hardware will be located. I think PC gaming, or the people who like PC gamers, are not really going to go for the sort of cloud solution. They'll probably still want to build a PC. So I don't think the PC hardware is going to go anywhere either, because, these people, I'm like that as well. We like to get under the hood. We like to tinker with the hardware. We like to build our own PCs, buy new graphics cards, test out games at those graphics cards. I'm one of those people. I like doing that as well. So I don't think that's going to go away, but it's going to change. It's going to evolve is the word. I don't think anything's going to go away, but there's going to be an evolution rather than revolution, I think, in the way we consume entertainment, certainly. The future of TV is all app-based, certainly. That's the future of television. It may be the future of consoles as well. Again, there are positives and there are negatives to this as well. We discussed the negatives in this video. So what do you think? Do you think that the future of consoles, of PC gaming, of gaming in general. We haven't touched on VR really, but that's a different subject for a different video. VR and AR, augmented reality as well, is an interesting topic, but I think the more sort of the future really is maybe we'll see a sort of Netflix type service for gaming. That might be the future for gaming. Who knows? Who knows going forward? But it's an interesting step. 2016 is going to be quite an interesting year for technology. We've got VR taking off. We've got this Universal Windows app thing taking off as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out on top and what fails. But anyway, that is all for this video. We've gone on for far too long now, really. It's 20 minutes this video has gone on. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.